Hello everybody, welcome back to Let's Play Hearts of Iron 4 Kaiserreich as Ukraine. Let us continue on from where we last left off. So, it's 1939. And I still do not think that the Second Weltkrieg is going to be happening this year. I think we have about a year to prepare. That would be my guess. I'm hoping it at least happens after the 249 days here. What does it actually give us? Is it just cheaper equipment? Not that that's bad. Bills not past negative 20 political power. Okay. And cheaper equipment's good. I'm happy to have cheaper equipment. But I think that might be all it does. So I'm not maybe I'm not gonna worry about it as much as maybe I should. The minor strikes are now over, which is good for us. I think that was a little bit of a stability loss. Cannons 1 are done. When do I want to start producing a new plane? Probably like now, huh? So let's see. So we can get ourselves... How expensive is this plane? You are 18 cost. Okay. So let's see. If we were to throw in, let's just say, 4 light machine guns, basic cannon, we're at 21.5 already. Not enough experience to spend. Okay, never mind. I don't have any air experience. So we'll just not worry about that at the moment. So I guess we just do some exercises then. How many points does that give us? 0.01 daily. So that takes 100 days, give or take, to get 1 point. That's not great. Okay, can we delay here? Can I guess we can just buy a 30 air experience, 42 points, and we get an air cost reduction. The hour approaches. This is also something we do want to have. But we don't need it. We don't need it right now. We can hold on a little bit longer. We do want the progressive tax policy for our focus. Maybe machine guns, I don't think we really care about too much. Air raid torpedoes, I don't think I care about that too much. Survivability studies will probably be good on our planes. We'll get that research. We'll get that finished before we actually try to make a new aircraft. Uruguay's joined up with Brazil. Decision will remain available after the... Okay. So if I want to take these now, it's not going to finish before the 44 days are done. But do I mean, some of these are just like not that good without... Where are Russian troops moving? They're moving. To where is a great question. Maybe to Finland? I mean, they are a national populist. So they might be going for a war against Finland, which, I mean, is okay by me. I'm not going to say no if they want to go die in Helsinki, let them. You know, that's not my problem. I welcome it. Cuba has joined up with the Reichspakt. So where are these factories? Okay, so they're actually still pretty far back. They all finished within like a week. So that's still okay. New rifles are done. Let's go for... We have a construction speed bonus. Let's get that going. You'll be done in 4 days, which is going to give us extra civilian factory. I think we just save our political power now to get some political advisors to get ourselves out of civilian economy. Kind of seems important for us. And the Zeppelins exploded. In a shocking news from Crimea, it has emerged that the Zeppelin that has just left port has exploded, with all passengers and crew confirmed dead. Whole search teams have been dispatched to scour the waters for the remains of the deceased. Witnesses of the incident have described the explosion as erupting suddenly and painting the sky orange and red. Well, maybe we should have not taken the Zeppelin base. I don't know, was it last episode? 2 episodes ago? Okay, we can make better rifles. Let's get those going right now. Currently 14 factories. We still do want more. Okay, Concentrate Industry 3 is finished. Production efficiency tools. Let's get you guys going. What is going to be our bonus here? Civilian factory 5%. Civilian construction 8%. Production efficiency cap goes up a little bit. I mean, it's not incredible. Mother population 25%. Crew population factor 8%. I mean, 7% stability, 9% war support. Those are good numbers to have as well. And we could take these now. I mean, these. I guess these don't actually do anything. Afterwards. How do you even get to 95? Because even these two would only get us to the 85. Maybe as a, I don't know how you actually get all of them then. There's gotta be like some sneaky way that I am not aware of. Could go to early mobilization. Why do you cost like 201? What about our advisors as well? Brilliant lawyer. Political power, stability is nice. Political power gain. Party popularity modifier is also quite nice. Because we're getting right now 4%. But I don't think that actually takes into account the coalition partners. Political advisor cost minus 33%. That would make the other advisors cost 50 points. So let's see. So we save 50, we save 50. And then we have to replace you, which will cost us 100. So actually, I think you just cancel it yourself out because you're only political advisor, which is not that great. Do we have anybody that affects all of them? Political power gain minus 0.1 for 10%, 10%. Could be good. Factory output, max factories. I mean, there's a lot of interesting people on this list. How many? What do we get right now? We're at 0.9. -4, -5. The plant is costing us 0.1. But for 1010, how long would that take to so it's one political power every 10 days. 10, so it's like 30 political power a year. I don't know why I'm making it. It's 36.5 political power per year. So that would cost. I mean, that seems worth it. Oh, we can get descriptions about them as well. Okay, you can read this if you want. I'm not gonna read that one, at least for the moment. I can't go back and read it, so you can go back and pause. Our tax policy will be done in a few days. We're gonna land our scorn. Okay, that actually doesn't do. Does it do anything actually? Because of party popularity. But we need. Okay, never mind. We need it for the other bill to pass, so it still is okay. 10% recovery rate, but we have a penalty for 2 days. Partisan training. What do you go for us after that? So it's a penalty for 200 days, but then it gets better afterwards. Loyalty to Ukraine. So we got 1. This will be 2. And then for our third one, I mean, forests is good because, I mean, there's a lot of forests in Russia. I think, have they put even more troops here? Yeah, no, they have. That is it. How many troops does Russia fucking have? 91 to 278. That is too many units. Have less troops. That's my idea. Okay, production tax policy has been fulfilled. These have been completed. Does it actually... Did we get like a pop about it? No, they just finish. That's it. Okay. 40%. I mean, okay, so actually only for 20 days. That actually is not. That's actually not that bad. It seems worse than it is compared to -5%. Oh, for 20 days. Wait. No, it's a negative. It's a permanent -5% stability. That's horrible. That is so dog shit. Why would you ever take that? The other one's negative, like 40% consumer goods, which is bad, but it's not even for 3 weeks. It's not even close. Okay, New England has joined the war. So Canada's actually in war now with every other American faction. Do we support the Canadians on this? It is like a weird state for them to be in. I don't know who we would support in America. It's like, again, as long as the CSA loses, I don't really care. Okay, so you are now... You're only here, huh? That is not as fast as I was hoping. Detroit has collapsed. That's good. Happy to see it. So, right, 0.93... Fuel gain per oil. Military factory construction speed goes up. But we also lose political power as well. It is tricky. It's a trickier situation than I think you might otherwise expect. Let's go for 1940 artillery pieces. Artillery is always a cheap tech to have, so I'm going to take it. Thank you for the rifles. You know what? I'll even throw in some support equipment in there. I don't need it, but maybe someone else could make use of it. Fuel refining 2. We guess go fuel refining 3. Because we're not really going to be super... Hey, another truck. We're not going to be super oil rich. Unfortunately. Hey, the Borotbysts lose momentum. After much demanded expanded funding of the Splika program, we have managed to silence much of the Borotbysts-inspired critique against our land reform program. I appreciate that. I do. It is... I mean, I'm just surprised there's not even like a pop-up being like, hey, you know, this stuff is finished. I don't know why. So what do we get here? Industrialization. I mean, it's good. Stability, war support. Land reform actually was better. The industrialization is okay. And we're gonna get another 5% stability off this. Excellent. Protests are calming down. People love liberal governance. 85% stability, 70%. Like it's going well. I'm just waiting for Russia to steamroll us, potentially. Okay, we'll take mass rifle production. No into land. It's going to be a terrain penalty reduction by 10%. Also is incredible. It'll be done in 56 days. When you're finished, I mean, there's really not much else we can do with you, right? We've completed the tax fund and the progressive tax policy. The center is moderate. We're gonna have our 3 focuses after the military academy has been finished. Now we need to bolster the right. So we'll take the 40% consumer goods for the 20 days or whatever. It's really not that bad. Of course, we don't want anybody to revolt. I'm assuming that's really bad, to say the least. As long as we can kind of keep everyone together in harmony, then we'll be happy. Okay, the history of Ukraine. Today, a comprehensive history of Ukraine, authored by none other than Dmytro Doroshenko, has been published. Much to the delight of bookshops in Kiev. As the Hetman's foreign minister and later Ottoman minister, Doroshenko could not find the time to complete his historical works. However, his retirement shortly after the conclusion of the anti-Hetman revolt gave him the opportunity to focus solely on building an account of Ukrainian history, covering events from the early Greek colonization of the coast to as late as the anti-Hetman revolt. The reappearance of Doroshenko's name in public life has sparked a debate, particularly among members of the URDP. Doroshenko was formerly a URDP member, after all, and his appointment to the Ottoman ministership was seen as a positive sign for much of the party. For the URDP's left wing, though, the late Ottoman minister meant well. He was naive to believe that he could reform the hetman from within. The system was simply too rigid for such a change to be pivoted by someone seen as too liberal for right and too conservative for the left. Predictably, his efforts were a failure. On the opposite end of the spectrum is the more charitable view held by the party center. That Doroshenko held Ukraine's best interest at heart and was willing to work with the URDP to create a better future. Though he failed to reform the system, one can hardly blame him. After all, the 1936 was a year of great political and economic upheaval due to the Black Monday crisis. Few could have succeeded where he had failed. So we need to get some more points for the left or for the center. I guess we'll go with the left here for now. It'll be done in 10 days. Good, 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 good. Revolutionary War. We get some land forts. We get free early mobilization is nice. That'll save us 100 political power. We get a handful of land forts. It's okay. Defense of core territory plus 10%. Honestly, I don't think it's like that great. But basically, it is just like 100 political power versus a permanent 10% defense. Now, of course, that does mean if we ever attack into Russia, it doesn't do anything. This is just to try to make sure we don't die immediately. 5% attack versus major country. So let's look a little bit further down. So that's going to lead then to coordination, army experience gain. Don't care too much about that, honestly. And then 5% more attack against major countries. And then you would also give us 5% consumption, or 5% organization, negative 10% consumption, which is pretty nice for us. You, on the other hand, would give us more HP. Also just defense on core territory, less training time. Followed by planning speed, followed by attack and defense on core territory. So actually, if we think we're not going to do extremely well and not be able to push into Russia until a little bit later, going for the Revolutionary War, I think, would be a stronger choice for us. Supply consumption is nice because that allows us to push away into Russia, who, of course, doesn't have the greatest of supplies. But I think we will go for the Revolutionary War. Actually, I mean, we could do early mobilization and immediately get to partial mobilization using the focus as well. Presumably, this is just increases our level of mobilization by 1 point. What about our theorist here? Just doctrine cost reduction, artillery attack. I mean, 5% more attack on infantry divisions also is quite nice. And we still have all of our military staff as well, which we haven't really even been able to look at. Like, we only now are we actually really able to look into increasing our domestic policies. We're going to be at 100. Free trade is all right. Limited conscription right now I think is more than okay. Thing is, so I need this right now. I'm going to take it. And now, presumably, this is then going to go to, yeah, partial mobilization. So I'm still happy with that development. We still need more light tanks. We have 118 mediums, so I think we can... What are you missing? You're missing light tanks? I'm going to cancel one production line. We'll just have one. We're then going to duplicate this. I know these tank divisions are not good. We will worry about that at a future date. We'll then get one medium tank going. I say that, like, do we really have a future date? It's already almost mid-39. Coming with a 14, speed of 5.9, HP 106. Engineering company. What about like a... Organization drops even more. What about like a cavalry detachment? Yeah, let's throw a cavalry detachment into the light tanks. Let's throw a cavalry detachment into the support tank as well. I think this actually costs us one more point, but that's okay. So we'll have this going. Armenia's joined up with Iran. That's okay. What about our infantry? Do we have enough support? The thing is, we don't have equipment really to afford to deck out all of our troops, which sucks. Like our equipment is just not where it needs to be. Anybody want to sell me some rifles? Sweden does. How many factions do we have? We actually have a decent amount. Let's go 4 deliveries for Swedish rifles. And let's go for 4 deliveries of Middle African rifles as well. Just more guns to feed the Ukrainian war machine. Because we are currently at 56 out of 69 divisions. We've almost hit our cap. And of course, our cap significantly lower than the Russian cap. We have 3 divisions here. I don't think they'll be able to push their way into Crimea. Did we put anything here? We're currently at 0. I think we did. I think I just skipped it. Yeah. Well, that's fine. Now we have more contracts for the market. Flanders Wallonia. What are we buying for? Are we just buying guns? We're very slowly buying rifles from you. 6 out of 12 deliveries, huh? After the Borotbysts' influence wanes, many leadership committees of unions have been captured by those more loyal to Vorochenko and the Workers' Democratic Union. While some unions, such as that of the railways, remain hopelessly radical, reduction of Borotbysts' influence in other unions should stabilize Ukrainian economic life in the long term. Excellent. So machine tools are done. Do I need conversion speed? Could go for 1940 armor, but I don't really have enough tanks at the moment. Do we have naval invasion tech? We don't. I don't know if we're going to need it, but I would like to have it just in case. I don't want to be stuck in 1942 trying to do some sort of naval invasion and then, like, fucking myself over. You know what I mean? Okay, so that's going to be our 3 focuses. They're done. Our approaches. You know what? That might be important because I don't know what the, I don't know what those decisions do. So I would like to get those going now. Will this get canceled if this goes below 50? I think we should be fine. I'm pretty sure we'll be fine. So aside from that, how's everything going? Canada is faltering. The CSA is not dead. MacArthur might annex Canada, which would be hilarious. Industrial advisors, financial injection. You know what? A financial injection might be nice for us. I think you guys really just need to kill the CSA before you do anything else. The Canadian government kind of fucked itself over, at least a little bit, by declaring war on every single American faction. Urban political desegregation. The landscape of Ukraine's urban cities for the past 15 years have seen a tremendous change. German investment in the previous hetman's limited capital ended up in places such as the dockyards of Odessa, the military industrial parks in Kharkiv, and the rolling stock production in Kiev. Yet, when the workers spent large parts of their day laboring away, the other part was spent tending to their families and private social housing. These suburban areas, by contrast, have seen little change, with rent priced at high figures, yet providing very unreliable electricity and water supply. The limited public transportation that exists rarely passed into these neighborhoods, all while the richer inner urban parts of these cities experience far fewer problems. With urban segregation leading to radicalization, policing units would begin to retreat from those areas to ease their limited budgets, leading to the increase in violent gang activity. Further, they would only intervene if bribed by those who could afford it, or if the situation in these depressed areas were deemed serious enough to conduct police raids. The issue was increasingly amplified and taken note by the ruling URDP, and these large and depressed urban regions and townsfolk have been observed in hotbeds of Borotbysts and RDS support, who have recently exercised their will to protest against their woeful conditions. With reasons aplenty and almost 3 years of work, recent citizens have finally shown hope. Public and private services have been extended across these previously depressed regions, suburban infrastructure finally repaired and replaced, and proper law and order firmly established. With that came the downfall of the major stronghold of the far-left support in Yuzivka. For many years, the same slogan has been repeated time and time again by opposition in these places, that the ruin that has been set in by Shorpensky would only be continued by the URDP government, and that one had to embrace radical and revolutionary methods for any hope of salvation. Well, I appreciate the political power. We'll send this tank over to Purple Army for now, and I will say that at least for... You know, actually, no. Before we end this, I think the tank division should be their own army. Do we have any Panzer experts? No. So we're just going to go with my boy here. We will set you to be the White Army, and we're going to establish you to go take Rostov. But I will say that at least right now is going to be a good time for us to end this episode. So if you enjoyed, thumbs up. Not joking, thumbs down. You want to see more, subscribe, and goodbye.